Shun Chafalef Sif Yitches. The ain't sharing as a chiltus, that is soaked. Chiltus is a type of vegetable. Lebe Poishin in warm water, Lebe Tenyin on cold water. Shederach L'Shroisa L'Refuah. They used to soak it for refuah. Anything you do for refuah is usher on Shabbos. We'll see Michel when we get to it. There is refuah, but anything that's done for refuah, you're not allowed to do it on Shabbos, whether to eat it, to drink it, or to prepare it.
But if it's emergency, even then you cannot do it?
We're talking about emergencies. Okay. We're talking about a person who is the refuah, who's just sick. He's not dangerously sick. He's not full of mishkah. I saw you chavrusa yesterday.
Sorry?
I saw you chavrusa yesterday. It's allowed to put it into the vinegar. The reason for that is that I put it into chaymitz, into vinegar, and metal by pitai, even though you need it for refuah, because that's the way briim, people who aren't sick, eat it. So anything that's Michel briim, anything that normal people eat, even people that aren't sick, is mutter, even though you're doing it for refuah. And that will see with Shemesh and Chavchet. If it was already soaked before Shabbos, mutter l'shtoiseh b'Shabbos. You're not drinking on Shabbos because you're not doing anything usher on Shabbos. Says the Morgan Avram Chavav.
Do you have mutter l'shtosa?
No, but
it's to be the shtoisa, yeah. The Spiro fixes it. I think he also had that gear, so he has. Where is it?
Oh yeah. It says in Ein Beis. The Shroisa says Terfloimer l'shtoisa.
I can't find Ein Beis. Oh yeah, the Shroisa says Terfloimer l'shtoisa. So I mean in the it says the shtoisa. So mutter l'shtoisa you're allowed drinking on Shabbos for Shabbos. Chavav ve'esma mutter debalav refuah nami mashki. So Ran, that without a refuah it's also a mashka, meaning even briim drink it. Therefore, you're allowed to drink it on Shabbos. Anything, the cloud you have to know for the sif is, anything that people that are sick do, you're not allowed to do it. Anything that even people that are briim, healthy people do, you're allowed to do. But then he says, if you drank it already on Thursday or Friday, you have to drink it on Shabbos, mutter, you're allowed to drink it on Shabbos. Mutter here means even l'shroisei. As Baruch speaks out of it, mutter here means even to soak it. Because l'shroisei to drink it is mutter even if you didn't do it on Thursday or Friday. But if you drank it on Thursday and Friday, it's mutter even l'shroisei. Shekachu derech refuah. So there's a derech of the refuah. L'shroisei, it should be here shloisei yomim. So the Shiva Semicha should be 3 days. Zeach hazer. Hilkach, therefore, mutter l'shroisei b'tzainin. You're allowed to soak it in cold water. Even to put it in the sun, because if you don't do it, it's going to be a sakana. And the Morgan Avram Chav Zayin says, if there's no sun, it's a cloudy day, you don't even put it on the fire. There's no problem of bishul, because it is a sakana. If someone drank it Thursday and Friday, he must drink it on Shabbos. If not, it's a sakana, and therefore it is mutter to do it. This is the heter for antibiotics. You have to have a certain amount of days. If you don't, it doesn't work. So even though refuah is also on Shabbos, but something that needs a certain amount of days, it's mutter to do it on Shabbos if not sakana. We'll get into it more. Okay, sif yotes. Shumu boiser. Shumu boiser is garlic, and boiser is not ready grapes or lilois. It's also some type of grain, sheriska me'erev Shabbos, that you crushed it me'erev Shabbos, muchasarim dicha, asa ligma dichasa. So there's 3 steps over here. Go to Mr. Bruce, brings it out. Yeah, if you look at Mr. Bruce, Sifchan Ayin Vav, sheriskan, says the Mr. Brura, the shloisha dvarim yesh, the dvarim hanedeichim. There's 3 steps in things that are crushed. The Haitzimehen Shamnon, to take out its oil from it. Risik, Dicha, and Shchika. I don't know the exact title in English for each one of these, but the different levels of how you do it. Risuk is, I guess, cutting it up into...
Risuk is to
you have
bring it to...
English word for it?
Yeah, they translate it as crushing, pounding, and completely pulverizing.
Okay. Crushing, pounding, and pulverizing. Okay? Let's type it that way. Risuk, I'm going to forget the words, I'll just say it in Hebrew. Risuk, dicha, and shchika. Shchika hu yesim dicha. Shchika is more than dicha. Pulverizing, I guess, is more than just crushing. If it was crushed from Oidyaim, it's only missing pulverizing. It's already considered crushed. So that's the halacha. Something that's crushed, and it's crushed enough that's already considered that it's already nitzchan. Now you want to do it even more, there's no tchin anymore. That means if you have something that's already crushed from before Shabbos,
and you want to crush it more,
and you want to crush it even more, there's no issa. It's already called crushed. So Shuma Boysen Release Shariska Meir Shabbos says the Mechaber Muchasarim Dicha, it's missing Dicha, also Ligmar Dichasam B'Shabbos. You're now allowed to do the Dicha, which is crushing. V'mein Muchasarim El Shchika, which is the final step, pulverizing. Mutta Ligmar B'Shabbos, you're allowed to do that on Shabbos. But Fikach, Mutta Ligmar Shchika, so replace by 8 parer. Shchika, so replace was the type of porridge they had, and they used to mix it in water. After it's taken off from the fire, you let it mix this thing on Shabbos. Says the Mogen Avraham Simchon Chavches, Mutter Ligmar Kasav Beiseser B'Shem Rambam Hamagisim Bo Harbe. What does it mean? You mix it a lot. Ma'arvin Oisa. Magisin is the mix. Ma'arvin is also to mix it up. Umakin Oisa be'etz hapara. You hit it, but the etz hapara was a type of piece of wood. They used to mix with a mixing spoon. Instead the Akdeira against the walls of the Akdeira, or b'toich Akdeira, or inside the Kaira, or inside a plate. Ad shemis'arev habasar v'aripos v'amayim v'tisamech. Till you mix up well the meat, the ripos, whatever there was, some type of grain I think it was, and water v'tisamech, and it becomes thick. So mix it up till it becomes thick. V'ta'asa kulam guf echad, and it all becomes one guf. Sometimes mesifim l'mayim chamin de er ha'ora ad kan l'shoinoi. V'nearly the b'kavana hishmitim and Rabbi Seisif. The Rabbi Seisif left out the Rambam. Why? The also litroif. He holds you're not allowed to be toif. Toif means to mix hard. And we saw last week in Elisha, even though things are mutter to mix on Shabbos, but litroif, to mix it hard and quick, that's already looks like Elisha, and that's awesome. So the Mogen Avraham here is saying the reason why the Beis Seisif didn't quote the Lashon Rambam, because the Rambam is mashma, you're allowed to be toif, you're allowed to mix it very quickly and very hard. And the Mogen Avraham doesn't let you do that. And that's how the Mishnah Berurah passes also. If you look in the Mishnah Berurah Ayin Zayin, it's an important Mishnah Berurah over here. And Ayin Ches, see both of them. So let's see Ayin Zayin, Mutter. The Fikach Mutter, and Mekamokim Yesh Lezar Shla Litref B'Koyach. You have to be careful not to mix it with Koyach, because that's already Aser, because it looks like Lisha. That's the Mogen Avraham. Harifos.
I have a question. We learned before that this was one of the shinuim that you could make, right?
Tabat.
In other words, in the form of shinuim that you have, you can either do shesi ve'erav, or you can do this idea that you're not going to do it litraf b'koyach.
Besides shesi ve'erav?
Like, if someone says, like, what did
that was a shinuim by the Chadron.
Yes, but is that the same idea?
Same idea, yeah.
In other words, it is a shinoi. So the question
is a shinoi, but it's not enough to get rid of, because that already, the Chad of Shloshim of Shabbos was, that was very mixed before Shabbos.
Correct. So in other words, it sounds like you don't need it. In other words, when you have something where you need a shinoi,
right?
I'm not sure, would this be...
That doesn't apply, because if you have the Shesiv Erev, you can't do B'Koyach.
Separate thing. In other words, either you do something with Shesi ve'erav, or you do something with, is this considered, is La'arev Benachas considered a shinoi?
Not enough to get rid of Shesi ve'erav. In a place where you need Shesi ve'erav, if you do it Shlei B'Koyach, it's not good enough.
See, the reason I ask is because here, technically, we have already tchina achat tchina. In other words,
Right.
what do you need anything at all?
Correct. That's what I'm saying. If you need a shinui, to do ma'at ma'at, to do it shloim koyach is not enough. This thing is no
And that
problem of
would be
lisha. Here's no
So
problem
then
of
why do you
lisha
need
b'chal.
anything at all?
Because literally for koyach automatically is asa.
Because of what? Because it's...
Because the nidra.
Because it's...
The lashon b'shbru before was...
So it's nothing to do with the actual, with what you're doing. And that
No,
might be
the
the same shot with the Chardal
In
also.
Tezvav, yeah. In Tezvav, if you remember we spoke about Halacha last week, that he says over here, "Al-Yidei ha-michuy shemacheu la-chardal, asa etzachardal raka mo'id, she'iroi l'shtia, ve'ein davar zeh mikri lisha." It's not called lisha. "El kshutoyif yofa b'kaf, yesh b'zeh yisura, t'domi l'lisha."
Where's
It's a
that?
Bir Halacha on page 300. I mean, it's around 10 lines
Which
down.
one? Which one? Which one? The Yechiel Arba?
The Bir Halacha on the beginning of Bir Halacha is Yechiel arav, yeah. But it goes on to Amid Beis.
Where does it start?
Yechiel arav, it starts from Amid Aleph, Yechiel arav. It goes on to Amid Beis. And he's busy with what's the Issa by Chardal over there. It was ready, the water was pouring before Shabbos. And he says, if you I have like 10 lines down by me, the first word on the line is klal. The middle it says, Ela yedei amichui shemacheyu la'chardal. Have it?
I thought this heter is a different heter. This is a heter that it's diluted.
Right, but still, you can't do it b'koyach.
Right. But the
Why?
heter here is a dilution thing.
The heter there, the Bir Halacha, the heter over there is because it's not a lisha at all. Because all you're doing is making it less.
Right.
But still,
But even though...
right.
So it comes out that it's not a shinoi at all. It doesn't help
no,
you at all. No, because here also you have
Correct.
a heter. Here,
Correct.
in both places you have a heter already.
Right.
So
in both places, it's not really a lisha.
So it's like a dummy.
Correct. Right. So that's what, if you look in the Bir Halacha there, he says.
Yeah.
Right, it's not called lisha.
Right.
It looks like lisha. So here's the same thing. And our halacha over here, by the Rifos, it's not lisha.
Can't be.
Right, it's not lisha. Otherwise you have to have a shirish shasav erev. Doesn't say that. All the Magen Avraham says over here is, you can't do it b'koyach. Literally b'koyach you can't do. Why? Because that is dummy the lisha. That looks like lisha. So the same thing over here. The Rambam says it could be toilet b'koyach. Okay, Ayin Ches in the Mishnah Berurah here. Harifois. Maisa daisa. It's like a porridge. V'atam kivin shekvar dachu oisa b'meducha. V'nespashlu kol tzarchan. Since it was already crushed with a meducha, with a crusher, therefore it's mutter. All you need is a small shchika, therefore it's mutter. So here's a big heter from this halacha. That anything that's cooked very well, and you're mixing it or you want to smash it, there's no isser, not lisha, and not tchina. That means if someone has the very common chayla, vegetables from the soup, and you want to crush it on Shabbos, smash it on Shabbos, is there a tchina on it? From this halacha that come out, there's no tchina on something that's cooked very well, and it's
already cut into.
It's already considered as if it's crushed. Meaning, you mix it, and it falls apart by itself. That's not called teichen.
So last time we talked about the potato and the cholent.
So potato and the cholent is hard, that when you mix the cholent, it's not going to fall apart. I always give an example, squash from chicken soup. You mix the chicken soup, if you get a piece of squash, the piece of squash falls apart. Even the carrot a lot of times will fall apart if it's cooked very well. Those things, there's always a tchina on them.
If you have a vegetable soup and you have potatoes and green beans in it, you stir it, the potato will
if it's cooked,
but the green bean may not.
Okay, so whatever falls apart, there's no tchina on it. And if it won't fall apart when you're mixing it, so it's not a problem. You can mix it anyway, because it's not going to fall apart. Right? So a soup that has it, or anything that was cooked very well, and it's now it's very easy to crush, meaning Another example they give, that Chayim give, is if you pick it up, you can't pick it up one part, the other part won't come with it. If you pick it up and it falls apart, also it's already called crushed. And there's no Isser crushing it. That's the head that Chayim give. Because it comes from this halacha, that anything that's already cooked very well, you're allowed to mix it. There's no problem of tchina. Why is there a problem of tchina? Because since it anyway falls apart, it's not called teicha. So if you have a vegetable, you want to feed a kid a vegetable, and it's very soft, and if you pick up, let's say pick up one side, the other side won't come with it or fall down, the matter to crush it. That's a head that they also give, some of the give on bananas, when they get very soft, and you pick it up, it doesn't come up the whole piece. So that's not called crushing. It's already crushed. Okay, so that's one head to here. Then he says, very important, Allah has chazara of Shinyat Ches, v'oida ala eish, as the Mishnah Berurah wants on the fire, yesh oimrim, yesh bezem mishum megis, tavikim avashol, you're not allowed to mix it when it's on the fire, only when you take it off the fire, then maybe you can mix it. So there it's machlokes, but definitely not on the fire. The fire itself, you're definitely not allowed to mix it. Okay, so that's the refois. Now says the Rama Baita, Haga, Mutter lahachlik ha'oichel b'Shabbos, you're allowed to smoothen the food on Shabbos, v'lehava b'zeh mishum imachek. There's no issue of imachek, so imachek is an issue of smoothing. Smoothing comes from ibud. Beginning of the Siman, we learned about ibud ba'oichlin, you're allowed to salt vegetables on Shabbos or not. He said you're not allowed to, because there's ibud ba'oichlin. Same with this ibud, you're working out a leather. There's a hide of an animal, is ibud. The same as surim we have by oichlin. Kobis is a derabana ibud ba'oichlin. So the machek is part of the procedure when you're preparing a leather. You're smoothing it out. So that's an issur even by food. But it says over here, you're allowed to smoothen out food b'Shabbos. There's no issur of smoothing b'machek. Since it's possible to eat it without it. So what does that mean? What's the Michel of tapuchim? So let's see what the Magen Avraham says over here. Hayel ve'efsher sivka chavtes. The Magen Avraham hayel ve'efsher. If it's not edible without it, often. Why? The yesh ibud ba'oichlin. There's something called ibud ba'oichlin, like we had in the beginning in the Siman with Rabbanon. But shekasav sifhei. Va'machlik, someone who smooths, hava kimemachek. It's like the smoothing of leather. Mutter lemareach. Okay, 1 second. Therefore, it's asur only if you need it to prepare the food. If the food is edible without it, you don't have to smoothen it to eat it. It's mutter to smoothen it on Shabbos. Mutter lemareach hatapuchim sheishivu gam lemokam arekon v'odin al lachem. You're not to smoothen apples. You used to have applesauce, I guess. And they'll smoothen it on bread. You're allowed to smooth it on bread that you get to the empty places of the bread. That means smearing anything on Shabbos is mutter. You want to smear peanut butter or anything, or jelly, anything you want on a bread, it's mutter. Why? Because then you're doing it for a reason. You're doing it to fill up the whole bread. And that's not really mamachik. You're not doing it because you can't eat it otherwise. You're doing it because you want to get it on the smooth places of the bread.
What would be an example where you can't eat it otherwise?
What's an example? An example where you can't eat otherwise is, let's say, an avocado. It's a big piece. You want to smoothen it out so you can eat it.
You eat avocado pieces.
Pieces, yeah. Maybe the way you want to eat it now.
Unless it's really soft, and it'll break off on its own. Can you still do it?
That's a question. That's a question. The avocado they speak about is very, very soft. Then it's no problem of toichin. But machek maybe is a problem.
I would think if you do it with tapuchim, I mean, it's
tapuchim is cooked. Cooked.
I know, but still avocado, especially when it's very, very ripe, is very, very soft.
It's very soft. And that's a question.
Once you've filled up with bread and all the bread's covered, then you have
correct. Once it fills, if not,
like keep on smoothing.
Right.
So that's a question. That's a question. That's a big question of something is smoothing. It's edible without it. You're smoothing because you want it to look nice. Is there a problem with machik? So you're not doing it. So let's pursue what the reason is why it's mutter the shmir bread, and then we'll get to the rest of it. Okay, look in Sifkan Pei Aleph of the Mishnah Berurah here, below there. So why if you could eat it without it, there's no Isser Mamachek? Says the Mishnah Berurah Sifkan Pei Aleph. Alkein lav midi ka'avid. You're not doing anything if you do Mamachek because it's edible without it. However, if it's not possible to eat it without that, Aser. The Yesh Ibud Ba'eichler is Ibud Ba'eichler. And then he says in Pei Beis, Tavel Abracha L'Malech Tapuchim V'Shalom Alalacha V'Odem Shumin V'Chema V'Vadai Shari. It's for sure mutter. And the Biur Halacha explains why. Okay, let's look in the Biur Halacha b'Michel. Biur Halacha divrei Michel b'Michel shel tapuchim. It says, "Any day mamel amdenu, the v'tchila ma'yin nami b'Michel shel tapuach, ch'dis v'mordechai. After the bar and mal haris, the machmir, someone is machmir b'machik, something that's edible without it. Ein le hachmir rach b'Michel shel tapuach u'chedayma shederechu leyapois u'lehachlek ha'Michel adei miruach. Usually, it makes it more edible when you do mamachek. U'mechzi ki memareach. Al b'shar dvar Michel, ein loy lahachmir klal. Any other Michel, there's no reason to be machmir on mamachek. So you're right. It's very hard to find a Michel today. The mamachek makes it easier to eat. I'm not sure of any food today that the smoothing it makes it easier to eat. Butter or bread is mutter.
No, but you can't eat butter. Right. The truth is, butter by itself you can't eat. It's right. Butter itself you can't eat. It's smoother on bread, but still on bread it's mutter. We'll see why in a second. That means let's say you want to eat bread and not just smooth it on bread. I don't know how else you eat butter.
Does it actually matter if it's soft or if it's hard? I mean, does it matter if it's bread or if it's on a cracker?
No, it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't make a difference. Anything, the same thing. And we'll see. Let's see why it's mutter. Then we'll get back to a case that's also. The next Mishnah Berurah says. Yeah, if you look in the next one, Tavel Abracha. The Biur Halacha, Tavel Abracha. Skip down a drop. It says, right, Acher Shevim Tchila, the Yesh Machik Bo'Eichlin, Midrabanan Kosav Sham, the Mutter, the Mareach, Hatapuchim, B'Shalos. Have that?
Yeah.
It's like a 3-4 lines down. The Mutter, the Mareach, Hatapuchim, B'Shalos, Shabbataka Bashlida. Why? Kivin She'ein Oisa. Even though there's an Isser Mamachek over here, you're right, you can't eat the butter the way it is. So it should be an Isser Mamachek. But since, why am I doing it? I'm not doing it because I want to flatten the butter. I'm doing it because I want to get it onto the bread. I want to put it on the bread in a place where it's not. You don't have a mind to do the miruach itself. Rak lemale b'mokam harekar, to fill up the empty part of the bread. But after psik reisha, even though it's a psik reisha, it's still mutter. So his chiluk is like this: when you take butter on a piece of bread, you're smearing it on bread. You want to get it on the bread onto the empty places of the bread. Now you're not doing it because you want to smoothen out the butter. You're doing it because you want to get it on the bread. Even though automatically you're smoothing it out, it's a psik reisha, it's still mutter. As long as you don't have a mind to do the mamachik. Now once it's on the bread, and it's ready, the whole bread is full, and now you want to smoothen it out on top, that's very asr. That's very mamachik. Only if you want to fill up places of the bread, it's mutter to smoothen the butter. But once you have butter, this happens a lot of times. You have it by cream cheese also sometimes, you put it on, and then it's very thick in one place, so you want to smoothen it out. That may be asr. That may be
on one side a little bit more and on the other side.
That may be also. That may be also. If it's thicker on one side, thinner on the other side, you want to smoothen it out, that may be also.
That's already mamachik. To get it onto the bread, because I want this part of the bread to have it, that you're allowed to do. But once it's on the bread, and you want to smooth it on top of the bread, that may be awesome.
So what do you really want? Like, why can I can take the knife, dip it into the peanut butter, and spread it over the bread.
Correct.
That you're allowed to do, but then to make it smoother, I can't.
Right. Because as long as you're doing it because you want the bread to have peanut butter, it's fine. But once the bread has peanut butter, you just want to smoothen it out to be thinner or thicker, that's a machir.
Smoothing for the sake of smoothing.
Right.
So you can keep a little bit open.
Smoothing for the sake of smoothing is awesome. Smoothing to get it on a place with cheese on is mutter.
Even if we say ein ibud ba'oichlin, or is this just because you're still
We hold yesh ibud ba'oichlin.
We hold yesh?
Yeah.
Or
D'Rabbanan.
So this does.
Yeah, this is only going because yesh ibud D'Rabbanan.
Okay.
The whole beginning of the simmer by salting is because yesh ibud ba'oichlin.
Right.
D'Rabbanan.
What if you take the thick parts and just scoop it off and put it back into the jar? Can you do that?
I think it's okay. You're not smoothing it. You're moving it.
Yeah, but you've created a smoothing effect.
Yeah, but you're moving it. You're not smoothing it.
How does this relate to things like which I mark me on things like hand cream?
What?
No, hand cream is something else. Hand cream is a whole different type.
If you're doing it for the sake of smoothing it, but just to put it on your hand, that's it.
That's something else. You put it on your hand, you're right. If you're smoothing it, smearing it, that's a machir. That's awesome.
But could you use the same svara here? Like if you're not doing it for the sake of smoothing it, but you're just
okay, it could be. Once you want to get it to a part in your hand, you're pushing it onto a part in your hand, it could be smooth. But once it's on that part, usually you rub it.
Yeah, you're rubbing it in.
The rubbing is a problem, that's a machir.
I thought hand cream is like legamre.
There's two issues with hand cream, and we'll get to more in Shulchan Aruch. One is refuah. If it's a problem of refuah, those times it's a problem. And there's a problem of smearing. So if you dab it, and you're not smearing it, it's okay.
So that's the thing, yeah.
Dabbing it is okay, yeah. If there's no problem with refuah. We'll see in Shulchan Aruch. But you're right, if you're smearing it, it's a problem. That's why you can't use soap on Shabbos. Soap is a machik, you're smoothing it. Any bar of soap. Use a bar of soap, it's a machik. Unless you have liquid soap. Anything that's machik is a problem. But here the heter is, you want to get it onto a piece of bread that has no butter on it. That's mutter. But once it has butter on it, to smoothen it on top is very awesome.
So to make a mold of the chopped liver or...
That's not machik. That's not machik.
You're not smoothing?
So it depends. What are you in a mold?
You take the chopped liver, you've turned it up to the thing, you want it, but you want to make some sort of
right.
It's like it doesn't
okay,
look nice.
So that's
you want to make it nice.
Right, so that's something else. That's a machik, not to eat. You can eat it the way it is.
Yeah.
That's a machik to make it look nice. Yeah. Right? It could be a problem. You couldn't eat it the way it is. You're doing it to make it look nice. It could be a problem with machik.
So
what if you've got to the point where the bread is covered, but you want more? You want more of the butter, say. You want more peanut butter. It's all covered.
And you want to add another layer.
I want more.
You want to add another layer.
Yeah.
Could be
it seems the heter is just to cover the bread.
Yeah, but he want to cover the butter that's there already.
Yeah. Cover the butter. Yeah.
Cover the butter that's there, right?
Meaning you like
you want to get more of that.
Sandwich. You actually put on the peanut butter and then afterwards you want to put on the chocolate spread.
Yeah, the jam. For Israeli chocolate spread, right? Yeah, and the harami. Shuri mutter. As long as you want to get it to a place that it isn't, it could be it's mutter.
Because you always put something on the peanut butter, jelly or
you
just put no.
But what about
jelly? But once it's on, you want to smoothen it.
No, that's covering the bread. It's saying covering the bread. It's not peanut butter.
Not just.
The Rabbi said that's not a problem.
It's not a problem.
Yeah.
Go on.
You have peanut butter jelly sandwich, right? So the first thing is you put the peanut butter on.
You put the jelly.
Now you want the jelly to cover the peanut butter.
Right.
That should be mutter, right?
Mutter.
Because you can add stuff all on. As long as you want to put something.
You want to get it into places where it's not.
Then you're okay.
Yeah, to put jelly in peanut butter, it's very hard. So you got to put it a few times.
What about
You don't have to make yourself a sugar. That's the call you should know. If you're smearing butter, peanut butter on bread, smear it on. Make sure you don't, after smoothing it out, and you're okay. Don't
overdo it.
Yeah, don't overdo it. Don't be over machmer.
What about a banana layer on top of the peanut butter?
Banana layer is something else. Banana is machik.
Right.
Banana has a problem of machik.
Yeah.
If it's of teichen.
Right, but
That's a problem with avocados.
We have a hedge of bananas, though, right?
Yeah.
I thought you were
It's a problem with avocados also. Once you have avocado on a piece of bread, you have the same issue. Not also a machik, you have a problem of teichen.
Right.
Okay, let's finish up the Ramah over here.
Basically, training for Shabbos.
Also, likleif shumin b'tzalim, kishakayel v'aniach. This is chazara bayir. You're not allowed to peel garlic or onions. Kishakayel v'aniach. If you're doing it to leave it, shari. If you're doing it to eat it right away, it's mutter. And the reason for that is, even though it's bayir b'tzalim b'tachaychol, we saw already here. No, but here it's b'tzalim b'tachaychol. You're taking the what's called the klipa off of the shumin. Now you're peeling it. So you saw since you're doing it in order to get to the inside, you take away the outside to get to the inside. It's of psalas mitachaychol. You're doing it for the inside. So all the way to do it, it's mutter to do it.
Why is he bringing this here? Like it's like from out of nowhere. We already covered.
Because he's talking about this. This is something you should make a mixture together. So he's putting the halachas of that mixture together.
What's the time parameter on eating?
On butter?
Putting it aside to eat.
That's right before the Suda. Because the butter has to be right before the Suda. You have to prepare it right before you're ready to eat.
Right.
Not before you go to shul, but right before you're ready to eat, you have to prepare it.
So if an hour goes by, it's too much.
Sure.
Okay.
Does that mean? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Does that mean if I have apples which I baked, let's say, with the skin on,
right,
and I just fried it, so I can take off the skin in order to eat?
Correct, 100%.
Right.
Yeah. So not peel an apple on Shabbos. You want to peel an apple on Shabbos, you're allowed to peel it.
Right.
Because you're trying to get to the.
Because you're trying to get to the inside.
Even you don't have to worry about taking a little bit of the apple with the peel?
No. Okay, the Chayim want to say about apple, it should be mutter, because whenever you peel an apple, you're automatically taking some of the apple with it.
Right.
So it should be mutter, but you don't have to do that. If you're doing it to eat right away, if it's possible to take off just the peel without the apple, it's also mutter. Why? Because you're doing it to eat miyad. So if you look in the Mishnah Berurah Sifkan Peidalid, Shuman of B'Tzalim, V'Hodin, Tapuchim, V'Agoyziv, V'Shkeidim, V'Chaytziv, V'Zeh, it's all mutter. Because you're doing it, taking it at the outside to get to the inside. V'Pasech, Flomin, which is plums, V'Zorik HaGarinim, and you throw out the garin, which is the pit, HaKosher, V'Aniach Lachazman, have a bayre. V'Tapuchim, K'Hagam, Yeshlam, Gam, Kein Da'asir. You're not allowed to do it. You're not allowed to take out the pits. Now the miyad lepeh shari litain, you're allowed to do it. Miyad lepeh means right away into your mouth. You're allowed to do it. So here he's saying to take out.
But after ota suda shari, meaning you can. If you're doing in preparation for the suda, you can too.
You're taking out the psaras from the eichel.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't even after the suda shari is if you're taking the eichel from the psaras. To take out the psaras from the eichel, throw out the pit, and leave the fruit is awesome. You take the fruit from the pit, it's mutter. But the pits from the fruit is awesome. That's why by watermelons you have the issue also.
So avocado, for example, if you're preparing on Shabbos,
if you're preparing, make sure you take the eichel from the pit. You shouldn't pull out the pit from the eichel. It's hard to do it that way. You shouldn't pull out the pit from the eichel and throw it out.
So by avocado you have two psolas. You have the
you have the klipa, then you have the pit. If you look in the Sharat Tzin Tzadik Zayin, he says, "The prima godem costs of tzarich ian, the klipas hatapuchim, the peels of apples, roiv ha'olam oichel raisai, v'loitchak, v'im ken afla niach shari, yesh laim the shari." You're allowed to peel an apple even not for right away, because it's not called bayre. Because most people eat the peel of the apple. Ach b'klipe ribin, v'me'edin yesh laim mekach. Klipe ribin is carrots. So carrots is a problem because no one eats the peels of the carrots. So he gives a heter here. The Sharatzi wants to give a heter by peeling apples. Apples you can peel even though it's not miyad because a lot of people eat it together with the peel. This may be a heter also for cucumbers. A lot of people eat the cucumbers with the peels.
Sure.
So then maybe you have to. If afterwards Rav Oilam, if Rav Oilam doesn't eat it, then you can't. But other stuff they peel, for example, shon, betzalim, these things you have to be machmir.
Rabbi, the very last part of the Mishnah Berurah, but Sar Jul seems to say that he is talking about removing the psolos from the alcohol. For Losa Suda, Shari.
Wait, you're taking what?
Even like for like apples.
Oh, to take out a pit. Right, to take. Right, sorry. It says to take out a pit from an apple, for example. Have a boiler. Also, we have the peh shari. Yeah. We're doing a miyad the peh as mutter.
But also for the
you're right. It says ve'efshe afal it's a suda shari. Yeah, you're right. He says that we're taking out the pit. We're taking out the pit. There's no other way of doing it. We take out the pit.
So even an avocado might be much to
take out the pit and throw out the pit.
Right.
Yeah, we take a spoon and scoop it, whatever it comes.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Mashman Mishmur here that's mutter take out the pit of the avocado and throw out the pit, even though it's really pseudo with the goichel. So it's mutter because EF should be in your acher.
But it's also sometimes you're also taking out oichel with the pits anyway.
Yeah, I suppose.
I mean, it's still a film. I mean, if you think
that's a question. Because that's what they say with the apples. The apples, when you take some of the apple with the peel, so the chayt mutter, even not miyad, even not miyad, and we see that it's only mutter miyad. They say because the piece of the oichel that comes off with the peel is also called service. Because that part is meant to come off, you can't do it without it. So it's still called part of service. But there are makilim. The makilim, it says as long as there's some oichel on the peel of the apple, it's mutter. So apples, you may have more of a kula. Cucumbers, you may have more of a kula. But other fruits, you don't have a kula. Yeah, there are people that are making even with watermelon pits. Yeah. I know that Moshe has a kula, I think, with watermelon pits. That he says EF should be in your nacher. You want to eat it. Right. But EF should be in your. How do I get the pits out? I can't do oichem with so it's impossible. So he's Michel, I think only for kids maybe, or for older people who can't do it. So this person who can eat it and spit out the pits, it's better to do it that way. But a person who can't spit out the pits, for example, for a child, if I'm not mistaken, you have to check it out. Moshe has a heter. He says it's called EF should be in your nacher, and therefore it's mutter. From this halacha. Anything it's EF should be in your nacher, you can't do it any other way. It's mutter to take the psolos from the oichel. So that will be a heter by watermelon pits also.
Where does this come from, this yesher? I don't see the yesher.
The sharitzion.
Okay, I'll tell you what we had. We had it in Shin Yud's test.
We learned it, let's say, where we learned it was by the orange. There's no other way to get to that.
Right.
But this is different.
There's a way to get to it.
There we brought, I think it was the Bir Halacha there, we said that if you want to get to the orange.
Right, and you can't get to it.
So how do you get to it? That's EFsher.
Right, it's EFsher.
How do you see that with
by watermelon pits?
No, by plum. Like I don't see the like here you have a plum.
How do you get rid of the pit?
So you open it up.
You take out the pit.
Well, you could.
How do you take out the pit? How do you eat it? You want to get rid of the pit? How do you eat it?
You can eat it raw.
Depends how you want to eat it. I mean, I understand you eat if you're eating it. If you're eating it straight, then what's the problem? I don't know. You eat it
so you want
to cut the plum, so you cut the slices, and then what's left is the
pit.
Is the pit. But you're saying you don't have to do that.
You don't have to do it because you want to eat the oichel. I want to eat the oichel. Who says I have to hold the psolos in my hand while I eat the oichel? I want to eat the plum. Right, so I want to take the oichel. I can't take the oichel and leave the psolos behind. All I can do is take the psolos and leave the oichel behind.
You're saying that that's the EFsher.
That's the EFsher.
So what about the mango?
It was very clear when we were talking about an orange.
Yeah. By peel, it's more than EFsher. It's called you're taking away the outside to get to the toich. That's more of a cool. That's for sure is mutter.
Yeah.
Here it's another cool of EFsher, and that's what the watermelon pits is a big shadow if it's called EFsher. That's so simple that it's called the Efsher. Okay, I think that's all for Shin Chav Aleph. Yeah, okay. Let's do the test now.